I have an idea.
We are up at the stairs.
And so I'm watching Sam and Colby right now
Where?
because
This one here.
that was the inspiration.
Hey guys.
And
Hi Elspeth. Come all the way in.
you know,
Okay. I wanna go
I've
to the
been
creeper.
getting into a lot of
For me,
paranormal
isn't
stuff
it?
lately,
Yeah, oh,
and I was thinking back to like personal experiences that I've
Sorry,
had
Elspeth. I want the creeper for my
and
office. No, don't take the creeper. It's
personal
really
reasons why I want to
It's
get into
gonna get mad at
this.
you. It's not.
So I'll
I will
explain
Be quiet.
that in the video.
Elspeth, are you okay
I
with taking
may
the
or may
creeper?
not get emotional depending because it is a bit of a sensitive topic
You are stressing me out. Right.
for certain
You're the
people.
worst person they could have sent me in.
Me being certain people.
If Sam was here, he'd
Everyone can talk themselves out of an experience.
I think that pretty much covers most of it. So I will certainly get into it. We could talk about the ghost. So, I was going to my Nana's house with my dad. She lives in North Carolina. And so, you know, old house, grandparents, animals. So, I'm trying to think. I think the dog, it was a golden retriever. Christy had been put down the year prior or a couple months prior. And at the time, I think they had 2 new dogs. But anyways, I slept in my Nana's room. My dad slept downstairs, and my grandparents slept in my pop-pop's room. So, here's my Nana's room, the room I'm staying in. When I open the door, it's direct. I don't want to call it a cellar because it's not a cellar, but it's like straight down, and it's scary as hell when you open the door, and it's pitch black. Like, something gonna come out and grab my ankles. Anyways, the bathroom, their room, and then the living room, and then the kitchen. So that floor, you have to step on it for it to creak. It won't creak any other way. You have to physically step on it. So walking into the living room, there's the TV and couches. When you get closer to the kitchen, the floor starts to creak, like really creak. And so everybody had went to bed around 9, and I woke up around like 2:30, maybe 3. Ironic, witching hour. And I heard like whispers, and so I'm thinking, my grandparents talking, and then I heard my pop snoring, and I'm like, oh, okay. And my eyes are watering my eyes water when I get scared, so it's fine. So I really had to pee, but I was so scared to walk out there because I'm like, who the fuck is in the house? What do you mean? So I walk out there and I heard creaking going into the kitchen. I closed that door so fast. Never closed the door so fast in my life. And I immediately heard a little like patter, like, you know, the like dun, 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 like that. I heard that right afterwards, and I was like, please no. I crawled right back into bed, popped my ass back in that bed. Parade. I'm not gonna say I'm an atheist because I don't say I don't believe, but I never prayed to God so fast in my life. I said, please, Lord, what the fuck? Because it was sketchy as fuck. Like, hello? And there's been like multiple like things that I'd hear at night, specifically around 2:30 to 4:30. Witching hour, depending on who says it, it goes from 2 to 3 or 3 to 4. And so I've always had a love for like abandoned things, sometimes paranormal. And so, you know, I very much take notes, I very much do my research, I very much get educated, if you will. And not all people believe in it, which is perfectly fine. That's okay. So there was another time, also at night at my Nana's, where I had just woke up, also around 3, which seems to be a lovely number at her house. And I had to go to the bathroom. So, you know, I get up half asleep and go to the bathroom. And I heard it outside. And I'm pretty sure this was during going into summer, so there really wasn't a breeze. but I heard like knocking on the window. I looked over and saw absolutely nothing. Like, so there's okay. So if the door when you first walk in, there's the toilet, the sink, and then the tub on this side, and the window is it's a second story, sort of. So you know there, and I heard knocking outside the window, and I'm just like, no. And I specifically heard it in threes. So it'd be like, I'm trying to find something to knock on. Hold. I heard like, and it did it in threes, which essentially is spirits mocking or just making their presence known in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, the Trinity. And so, you know, trying to take a piss, that startled the fuck out of me. Like, what? It's in the middle of June. I'm trying to pee at 3 a.m. Leave me alone. And so I'm just like freaking out. And it got cold. Like, I got super cold. It's June, babes. It's not cold. I put my hand over the vent because there's a vent on the floor. I put my hand over it to make sure it was like not blowing air. There was no air. Not a single no air. Not air to be found. And as it was hot, the window normally would have been cracked, but it was closed, thank God. But yeah, and then I was like, no. And I went back into my room. Just went back to my room, lay down, and cried because I'm so scared. Watching YouTube, My Little Pony. I was scared, terrified, because I'm on the second story. I want you to realize that no one in the middle of the mountains is gonna do that on the second story, let alone a second story. How'd you get up here? A ladder? No, it's 3 a.m. Go home. There was nobody. I peeped outside. I was like, to make sure I wasn't tripping. Nothing there. I'm good on that. Thank you. So, I have to redo this. I'm gonna cry. Ooh, I really don't. I don't like this closet, right? So, if you know the Conjuring scene, and you know that wardrobe, my Nana has a wardrobe that kind of looks like that, just a smidge, but it's a little bit smaller. And I never liked that closet. I've never had a good feeling about that closet. There was a weird energy coming from that closet, and I was very much correct to have that feeling. Again, woke up, lucky number, and because I heard like tapping. And sometimes I'm a light sleeper. That happened to be the sad occasion where I was being a light sleeper. So I heard tapping coming from it. And I wake up and it was cracked. That bitch was closed. The door was locked. My Nana could have not come in there. I want you to stop playing with me now. Now, please. And I look over and I'm thinking she came in there because I completely forgot I locked the door. So I go over there and close it. And I start to go pee, to open the door, and that bitch is locked. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, 2 plus 2 is not making 4. Because I did remember, I was like, I locked this door. Why was that open? And now I'm scared. I don't want to walk outside outside the room, because it's even scarier outside the room at night. Like, there's no lights on. I don't want to be outside of this room. So I crawl my ass back into bed with my little lamp on, because she has a lamp in there. I kept that bitch on. And I glance back over, and it's cracked. Like, it's cracked, just peeking through it, and I see an eye. Y'all. I sat there, and I looked, and I was shaking so bad. Do you see the tears in my eyes right now? Do you see that? Do you think I'm playing with y'all? Because I'm not. I'm not playing with you at all. So I'm just flabbergasted. I go to reach for my phone to call my dad. I look back and the iPod is gone. I did not go back to sleep for the rest of the night. I walk out that bitch in the morning and my dad looks at me, he's like, are you okay? I'm like, no. Rough night. It's a no for me. Because my mom has had experiences there too. So when I get this clip, I'm gonna let y'all hear what she's got to say. Yeah. Okay, so I came downstairs to come bother my mom so she could tell us her story. So story is plural. So go ahead, mommy.
The most terrifying one for me was dead asleep, middle of the night, and I felt like someone was looking at me. Like I opened my eyes, and there was this man, like kind of hovering above me. I screamed.
My eyes are watering.
I screamed. Karen's dad rolled over, heard me screaming. He said he thought he saw something, but I don't know. And then when the light came on, of course it was gone. I did not sleep the rest of the night. After that, it was terrifying. And the next morning, we were telling Karen's grandparents about it, and they had said that that they, that the people who'd lived there before had passed, and basically described the same person that I saw hovering over me. So that was terrifying. And then upstairs in her grandmother's bedroom,
The same room I told you all this bullshit happened in the first fucking place.
Yeah, she has all these old dolls.
Those were so scary. They're like
a lot
porcelain.
of them were like porcelain dolls, and then also like handcrafted, sewn.
Like Annabelle, the original.
Yeah, not quite Raggedy Ann, but yeah,
Close enough.
Get the idea. And when Karen was little, she was crying when we were sleeping in that room, and the heads turned to look at her, to look at her crying.
Oh, I don't recall this.
And I, of course, screamed again.
Oh, my eyes is watery, y'all. I don't think I like that too much.
And your father didn't believe me.
I told y'all.
Yeah, that was pretty terrifying.
I told y'all.
And
was I tweaking?
lived in Alabama.
Oh yeah, Fred.
We were renting a house, and this happened many times.
We fuck with Fred.
I would go to bed earlier than my husband because he would stay up playing video games or working or in the wood shop or whatever, and I'd be in bed, and I would feel the indentation behind me in the bed.
So like this and just
getting pushed down behind me. And I would roll over, and there'd be no one there.
The way I would have got up and left.
And this happened so frequently that it was like
he was just saying hi.
Yeah, there was no bad feelings. Whereas I still have a bad feeling about the one downstairs at Nana's. Whenever I would have like a really bad migraine, I'd be hurting really bad. I'd have a cluster headache that would just make me crying because I was so much pain. And I would feel pressure on my arms as if someone was holding me.
Bro was giving you a hug.
Yeah. So Fred was taking care of me.
WS.
And her father didn't believe me. He thought I was just being, overly dramatic or sensitive or whatever, which I am sensitive. I go to my dentist for exam, and the technician looks at my chart and she's like, I still live there. So we're talking about the house and,
Yeah.
And then she's like, have you had anything weird happening? And I was like, oh, the house is haunted.
Oh, just casually.
And she's like, what do you mean haunted? And I described all the stuff. She's like, yeah, that's Fred.
She knew that man by name.
Yeah. The lady had researched it.
Yeah.
And people a gentleman that lived there before, the guy had a heart attack, and there was this house, he built it, he did all the stuff on it. And so
awesome. Hospice
she knew. And I was like, okay, great. So when I got home after the dentist, And I sat down. I'm like, okay, Fred, you know, it's nice to meet you. And I'm glad I finally have a name.
A name to go with the spiritual.
And there was lots of times. We were having we were under a hurricane. It was a hurricane, and there was really bad tornadoes coming through the area. And it was my first head-on tornado that was coming right for us.
Oh, right.
And I, other than like, I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I was freaking out. We had Joey and Monty, our cat and a dog.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And they were antsy about it.
Yeah. I mean, you got a tornado coming for you, so who would it be?
So we all, your father was actually out of town training. So me and Monty and Joey was in the hallway because we would close all the doors and stuff like that. It was barricaded. And I was getting really scared because I could hear like trees hitting and stuff like that. I was like, Fred, I really need you right now.
Bro locked in, didn't he?
And this absolute calm wiped over me, Joey, and Monty. All of us at the same time went from whining and to like, okay.
Oh, he really liked it. That's another thing. If you respect the ghostie, they'll be nice to you. Well, sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes they'll be nice to you.
I hated leaving that house, but I had to tell him to stay there because that was his home.
No, let him attach, bro.
He was good. He was a good one.
Do you think y'all think it's still up or demolished?
The house?
Yes.
Still up, as far as I know.
You trying to go meet Fred? You live encounter? The stuff I'm gonna get.
Oh, Montgomery, Alabama is hella haunted.
Y'all gonna see the next video of Montgomery, Alabama.
Stuff there and all of the sundown laws and stuff. Oh yeah.
So
hotbed of spooky shit.
Quick rundown. I have, what is the pot? I keep wanting to call it. I got my EMF reader. What is the pod thing called? I keep forgetting what, a REM pod? REM pod? Okay, I was right the first goddamn time. Damn. I got one of those. I've got the thing where you close your eye. The Estes method. The Estes method. So basically, quick rundown. You help me explain that. You
have an AM or FM frequency on the radio,
and you're blindfolded, and you have
headphones.
Earbuds.
All you can hear is
just the radio,
the static, and you'll hear words coming in to answer questions that are being posed by.
So it's better if you have noise canceling, so you can just hear that, and you can get, because you're just using your ears. It's a sense kind of thing, and pardon me, my goodness, and so like she said, it's to hear words. So the people around, either you if you're by yourself, which would be kind of scary, so don't do that. Or the people around you, as an example in the Sam and Colby videos, where they have people asking questions around them, and then they just say the words to have as answers. Yeah. So yeah, type shit.
And my childhood home.
Oh yeah, one more story, y'all.
Yeah. My childhood home. My family lived there for literally hundreds of years.
Yeah.
My granny was essentially on her deathbed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was spending time with her because I had to go to school the next day, and I didn't want to go to school at all.
Yeah.
But she saw an angel. And she told me all about what the angel looked like, where it was standing. And, people that had passed was sending messages and stuff like that through the angel.
Yeah.
And Granny's like, yeah, I'm gonna pass tomorrow.
Oh.
While you're at Biltmore House.
Oh.
We had a field trip. And sure enough, we went to Biltmore House.
Yeah.
And I knew, like, the moment she passed, I knew. I just, in the middle of, you know how beautiful Billmore House is.
Yeah.
I was in the gardens, and I just started squalling, just bawling.
Yeah.
I knew at that moment my granny had passed.
And then when you got home.
So we get back to the school, and my Aunt Nene is there. And she goes, all right, it's like, Granny passed at, God, it was like 12:46, something like that.
Yeah.
And she's like, how you know? I was like, I know. I felt it.
That angel came and went and told her.
I felt exactly when she died. And I knew exactly when my grandfather died.
Oh.
Because we were that close.
Yeah. They came to say bye-bye.
And
damn, imagine that.
my granny would wear these little bedroom slipper things. It would make this little scuffing sound on the floor. As she's
Like mine do?
As she's walking around. Similar, yeah.
Okay.
But it was like little short walks because she was shorter. And up until I moved away, I could still hear her scuffling through the house.
She was waking up doing her daily stuff.
I could smell my grandfather's chewing tobacco. If I was really upset,
Yeah.
I could smell it as if he was like there to comfort me. So yeah, I absolutely believe in all of it because I've experienced it, and I definitely know when there's like good and bad spirits around me. I can feel that vibe. But
yeah, that's a whole nother conversation too. It's like feeling like auras and shit. Yeah. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I'm cool.